There is a side of Dubai that tour companies will never show you. Behind the glittering skyline and luxury lifestyle lies a city carrying the weight of unfinished dreams, empty megaprojects, and billion-dollar ambitions that never fully came to life. Beneath the world records in futuristic architecture are places where silence has replaced celebration and where concrete monuments stand as reminders of how quickly ambition can outpace reality. Today, we are uncovering 10 urban scars hidden behind Dubai's glamorous image. From abandoned islands and ghost villages to hollow skyscrapers and empty airports, these are the projects that reveal the darker side of rapid expansion and limitless ambition. Let's begin with one of the most infamous failures in modern Dubai history. Dubai Pearl once stood at the gateway to Palm Jumeirah as a symbol of extreme luxury and futuristic ambition. Announced in 2002, the project promised 4 giant interconnected towers designed to house more than 20,000 people in a vertical mega-city. It was supposed to become one of Dubai's most iconic landmarks. But after the financial crisis of 2008, the project collapsed under the pressure of debt and legal disputes. Construction slowed, investors disappeared, and the massive concrete shell remained abandoned for nearly 2 decades. Instead of becoming a luxury masterpiece, Dubai Pearl turned into a giant grey ruin visible to millions of visitors driving through Sheikh Zayed Road every year. The situation became so complicated that Dubai authorities had to establish special legal committees to handle the disputes connected to the project. Eventually, after years of decay, demolition crews flattened the entire structure with massive explosions that shook nearby neighborhoods. Today, the land is being prepared for new developments, including futuristic concepts like Project Moon, a giant artificial moon resort worth billions of dollars. But the story of Dubai Pearl remains a warning that even the most ambitious projects can collapse when financial reality catches up. Not all abandoned places in Dubai were destroyed by money problems. Some were simply defeated by nature itself. Far away from the skyscrapers lies Al Madam, often called Dubai's ghost village. Built in the 1970s for Bedouin families, the settlement was abandoned after only a few decades. Over time, the desert slowly reclaimed everything. Sand now pours through broken windows and covers entire rooms. Streets disappear beneath dunes, and rooftops are buried under layers of drifting sand. The village feels frozen in time, as if life suddenly stopped overnight. Today, Al Madam has become a strange tourist attraction for photographers and adventure travelers. But beyond the eerie atmosphere, it sends a powerful message. No matter how massive Dubai's projects become, the desert is always waiting patiently in the background. Then there is the World Islands, one of Dubai's boldest ideas ever attempted. Developers literally tried to recreate a miniature version of the planet using hundreds of artificial islands built in the sea. At first, the concept captured global attention. Celebrities, investors, and wealthy buyers rushed to purchase private islands. But after the financial crash, progress slowed dramatically. Years later, many islands still remain empty patches of sand surrounded by water. The biggest problem was not building the islands. It was making them sustainable. Creating transportation systems, power supplies, freshwater networks, and infrastructure for hundreds of isolated islands turned out to be far more difficult and expensive than expected. Even now, only a small portion of the project is active. Much of the archipelago still feels silent and unfinished, as if the world itself was paused halfway through construction. Another giant project trapped between ambition and reality is Palm Jeb. When construction first began, it was meant to become even bigger than Palm Jumeirah. Satellite images from the mid-2000s already showed the enormous palm-shaped design emerging from the sea. But after the economic crisis, development stopped almost completely. For nearly 15 years, the giant artificial island sat abandoned in silence. No hotels, no residents, and almost no activity. It became one of the largest unfinished megaprojects in the region. Now Dubai is attempting to revive the project with new master plans, luxury resorts, and promises of thousands of homes. But critics question whether demand truly exists for another gigantic island development when so many luxury properties already remain underused. The project raises an important question. Can old dreams still survive after spending nearly 2 decades frozen in time? Dubai's struggle with scale becomes even more visible at Al Maktoum International Airport, also known as DWC. The airport was designed to become the largest aviation hub on Earth. Officials imagined 5 runways and capacity for hundreds of millions of passengers every year. But despite those enormous ambitions, the airport has remained strangely quiet for most of its existence. Huge terminals sit nearly empty. Vast waiting halls echo with silence. In some areas, passengers are so rare that the airport feels more like a futuristic movie set than one of the world's busiest transport hubs. Yet despite operating far below capacity, authorities continue pouring billions of dollars into expansion plans. Dubai appears determined to keep chasing scale, even if the demand has not fully arrived yet. Another forgotten dream is Jumeirah Garden City. Before the 2008 crisis, this project was promoted as a revolutionary urban paradise filled with canals, futuristic towers, and massive residential districts. But when financial markets collapsed, the dream unraveled. Instead of glamorous skyscrapers, much of the area remained empty land for years. Authorities eventually shifted focus away from luxury fantasies toward practical developments such as mid-rise housing and infrastructure for everyday workers. Jumeirah Garden City became a symbol of Dubai learning a painful lesson: not every vision can survive on borrowed money and endless expansion. But Dubai's obsession with image is not limited to unfinished projects. Even its most famous landmarks reveal how far the city is willing to go for global attention. Take the Burj Al Arab, often called the world's only 7-star hotel. Its sail-shaped design is instantly recognizable across the planet. But surprisingly, a huge portion of the tower is actually unusable space built purely for visual impact. The building sacrifices practicality in exchange for symbolism. Nearly half the structure exists simply to create a dramatic silhouette against the skyline. This philosophy also appears in the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on Earth. Many people do not realize that a significant portion of the tower's upper height is completely unoccupiable. The giant spire was designed mainly to guarantee the world record for height. In architecture, this is known as vanity height, space that serves almost no practical purpose except making a structure appear taller and more powerful. Dubai willingly spent enormous amounts of money building empty vertical space because in this city, records and prestige often matter more than efficiency. At night, nowhere is this contradiction more visible than Dubai Marina. The district is packed with luxury skyscrapers and expensive apartments. But look closely after sunset, and you will notice something strange. Many towers remain dark, with only a few windows illuminated. Why? Because countless apartments are owned by investors who rarely live there. Properties are treated more like financial assets than homes. Buyers purchase units hoping prices will rise, then resell them later for profit. As a result, entire residential towers can feel strangely lifeless despite being surrounded by wealth and luxury. Dubai Marina represents a city where buildings continue rising higher, even when genuine human activity inside them remains surprisingly thin. And finally, we arrive at Dubai International Airport, DXB, the opposite of DWC in almost every way. While DWC suffers from emptiness, DXB struggles with overwhelming pressure. It handles tens of millions of passengers every year and operates near maximum capacity almost constantly. The airport became so successful that it trapped itself. Surrounded by urban development, there is almost no room left for expansion. Every runway, terminal, and flight slot operates under intense pressure. Ironically, Dubai now faces 2 opposite problems at once. One airport is overloaded beyond its limits, while the other remains largely empty despite billions invested into it. Together, they perfectly represent Dubai itself, a city balancing between extraordinary success and extraordinary risk. As we reach the end of this journey, one question remains. Are these megaprojects proof of visionary ambition, or are they warning signs of a system pushing itself beyond sustainable limits? Dubai continues to build bigger, taller, and more ambitious than almost anywhere else on Earth. But hidden beneath the luxury image are unfinished islands, abandoned towers, empty airports, and billion-dollar scars left behind by failed dreams. Perhaps Dubai is not simply a city. Perhaps it is a giant experiment testing how far money, ambition, and spectacle can reshape reality. Before the cracks begin to appear. Do you believe these projects will eventually succeed? Or do you think time and the desert will slowly reclaim them all? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary-style investigation into the hidden side of Dubai, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into global megaprojects, economic mysteries, and urban transformations around the world.